Thank you. Okay, so you guys can go ahead and mute yourselves. We'll go ahead and get started. So sorry, you guys. It's been a crazy night for me too. I have a sick hubby and just craziness. But I'm here to deliver some hopefully good stuff for you guys to help motivate you for your holiday content. So it's been on my heart and my mind a lot during this whole season of not only just December, but also for January, what we should be putting out on our pages. And this is something that I've really been trying to dig into because I will just be honest with you guys, I've been a little unmotivated with my posts lately. I'm sure you guys can relate. I think we all get to that point where it's just kind of like, even though we all have so much to share and we have an amazing story, like there's times where you're like, oh, I don't know what to post. And it's because, we have so much going on and it's the holidays and our minds are here, 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 and here. And we may not always have the inspiration to share for other people. Um, so I really was thinking about this and kind of what our role is right now in the month of December. Okay, so hopefully you're taking notes because I have a few points for you that I want you to write down. Before I say anything about your actual content that you are posting, I will say this, Ashley will say this until we like beat you guys to death with it, but consistency is key, especially during these holiday months, okay? And that doesn't just mean consistency in your posting. Number one, definitely your posting, but also in your stories. Obviously, your journey, right? Seeing results in your own progress, showing up for your workouts, being somewhat on plan, mostly for the month of December, not completely, going off track, still enjoying the holidays, obviously. But all of that, you guys, is number one always. Okay. So, all the content that I'm about to give you ideas for, like that has to be paired with your consistency in your own journey. Okay. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is showing value through the holidays. Okay. So that's number one. What kind of value can you show for the holiday season? So I want you to think about where you're at currently in your month of December. What's going on? Like what kinds of things? Probably we're all probably trying to do the same things. We're trying to shop. We are trying to think about what we're going to take to our next holiday party. I have a cookie swap at our house this weekend that I have to plan for and get all of the decorations ready for. We're wrapping presents, right? We're busy. So think about like put your post and your content on your page in someone else's life that's currently going through the same season that you are, okay? Just because we're going through the holidays, it doesn't mean that you can't shy away from talking about things that are an obvious thing, but you need to have a spin on it and make it something that's valuable that's going to help them through the holiday season, okay? So, number one, a really good thing you can share on your page right now is obviously, and I think the most important, encouragement, you guys, because I don't know about you, but I get stressed out a lot during the holiday season. Christmas is happy times, lots of fun, warm and fuzzy feelings, but it's really easy to get stressed out and overwhelmed. I get super overwhelmed shopping for people. I hate the whole buying gifts thing because I feel like it just gets blown out of proportion. But that's just me. That's a whole nother tangent. But think about how people are stressed out. They want to come to your page and find some encouragement through the holiday season, right? So posting about what do we do that helps with stress? We work out, you guys. That's one thing that you can post about. Like I love working out by my tree every morning. I don't have the lights on in my living room because I love seeing the lights on the Christmas tree. Someone could be totally inspired by seeing a post of you by the tree and you talking about how this is your one and only time to feel the calm of the season 30 minutes before everybody gets out of the bed. before the kiddos are out the door, like painting that picture and telling that story that relates to the stress that everyone else feels during the holiday is something that you can put on your page that's going to inspire. Okay, so encouragement. Not only are you going to encourage them through what you might be feeling through your workouts or your nutrition, but also through your personal development. I think personal development right now is huge for this month because of that reason, right? Because we are stressed out, because we forget the true meaning of the season. We forget, like why we're doing all of this stuff. Putting that on your page and offering a little bit of hope to someone, I think is super important right now, because they're going to want to come back to your page. They're going to want to see that light in all the other things that they're having to deal with during the season, right? So encouragement. Another thing that you can show as value, in my opinion, is recipes right now, you guys. I think not only just a good recipe that people can take to holiday parties that's easy and healthy, but also gift ideas. So we all know if you are living a healthy lifestyle, the stocking stuffers and all of the gifts that you get are a little bit different, like you want different things. You may want like an air fryer instead of, something else for Christmas. And it's because you are on this health and fitness journey. We had a post in our accountability group the other day about what your stockings look like, how it's different, like mine used to be filled with candy all the time, like junk, and it would always stay in this Ziploc bags that I never ate. And I finally was like, Mom, please don't give me any candy. Like, give me some food stuff that like I can cook with, like sauces and stuff, because I love that. So even sharing that little thing on my page, I'm giving myself ideas, you guys. This is good. See, I like talking through it, so I can like get ideas. But even talking about that on your page, that gives people these little ideas and inspiration of, oh man, I want to be like that. I don't want to have all this junk and candy in my house for months after Christmas, because it's kind of like Halloween. If you're like my family, like they love giving all the candy and chocolate and all that in the stockings. So posting about that stuff that's, yeah, it's related to health and fitness, but it's also what they're experiencing through the holidays. Okay. So and also sharing gift ideas. Like I did a little, I made some, and you guys, this was not my recipe, just to let you know. If you saw this in my stories, I did a little, I called it Senna Sweet Christmas Nuts. I actually took the recipe from that butternut squash casserole recipe that's in our holiday seasonal. Yeah, so that was what those nuts were. I just cooked them separate and I tasted of them and loved them. And I was like, ooh, that can be a recipe for just like a gift idea. And they can put it in little mason jars. So I shared that in my story, and I've had so many people that are like, ooh, I'm going to make those. That's an awesome idea. So of course, I'm doing them as little gifts. When I do them, I'm going to do another post about it, and I'm going to show, my little mason jars all pretty with the ribbon on them and stuff. So giving gift ideas that are not related to junk food, and it doesn't have to be, cinnamon nuts. It could be like something related to your health, like a really cool water bottle that you found on Amazon, or you guys know all the things that we use that help us with our health and fitness. Okay. It can be like a seasoning, you guys, that blows people's minds, everything bagel seasoning, something very minimal can really, really like inspire someone. Okay. So all of those are ideas that you can provide value on your page. Value is what people want to see right now. They're scrolling through, and what are they looking for? They're looking for either a good deal right now because we're all crazy busy and we're looking for gifts and shopping and all that stuff, or they're looking for, like I said, a post that gives them some sort of inspiration to get away from the stress of the season, right? Or a really cool idea. So that's what you need to be thinking about for your post, is showing value through the holidays with a spin of health and fitness. Okay. that was number one. Giving value is number one right now. And not just during December, but this goes all throughout the New Year's, right? Into January. Okay. Everybody's still like they're recovering from all the hype of the holidays. They've got all these crazy good gifts. They're gonna be feeling really fluffy, large from all the food. They're going to be thinking back to all their conversations that they had, and they're still going to want this from you guys. They're still going to want the value on your page, okay? The second thing that needs to be part of your content in your posting, your post, is telling your story through your pain points. Pain points, you guys. We don't like them. But telling your story through your pain points is going to be huge right now, because this time of year can bring back some really bad memories for people, okay? Not only with health and fitness and your clothes that you're wearing and the confidence that you're feeling at holiday parties and things like that, but for other reasons as well. And when you can share something that was a pain point in your life and you tell a short little story in a post, if someone can relate to that, they're going to feel that connection to you and they're going to want to keep coming back to your page. Okay. So let me give you some examples of telling your story through your pain points. There's a picture that I have of myself sitting at a restaurant with my best friend. And this was years ago before I lost any of my weight. And I was in this brown fleece jacket that I always wore all the time. And it was that jacket that I hid behind. You know, you guys have those clothes that you always hide behind. And I always felt so frumpy in it, you know? Like I just always felt like I wasn't pretty in it, but I always wore it because it was my comfort, okay? So this week, you guys, and I think about this picture because I think about how I felt, right? And how many people can relate to that? How many people right now who are watching your page are feeling like that every single day through the holiday season? They're hiding behind their clothes, and you guys know during the holidays there's lots of picture taking, right? Does that not make you realize where you're at in your health and fitness journey when you see a picture of yourself and you realize, I'm not being the best person that I can be? I can probably talk to all of you and you can probably say, yes, I've seen that picture of myself. So talking about those pictures, those times in your life where you can remember, I was hiding behind my clothes. I'm going to do an actual post, you guys, with that picture of how I felt to now, like a transformation, and talk about my story, because I want people to feel how I felt, because I know there's people who are feeling that same way. Dressing room visits, you guys. People are going to be trying on clothes, trying to fit into a really sleek and fun and sexy New Year's outfit. And they're probably not going to feel that way, right? If they have weight to lose. So if you can think back to a time where you didn't love going to the dressing room, or you didn't feel confident going into a holiday party, use that as a way to tell your story that's related to the holidays and Christmas and New Year's, okay? One other thing for me is, like I said, like using, people want to use holidays as an excuse, and they want to say like, oh, I'm just so busy right now. But we know like it only takes 30 minutes to get your sweat on, get a workout in, and it makes you feel for me, it makes me feel so much better going into a holiday party, or looking forward to a trip, because I know that working out helps me burn those calories that, I'm probably going to eat later on. So talking about that on your page is another way to tell your story. Okay. So right now, you guys, I want you to just jot down while I'm talking a couple things that came to your head while I was saying your story, your pain points. Can you think, oh, yay. Can you think of some things that automatically came to your head that was like, when I think of the holidays, I think of this, okay? I think of the time that this happened. Some of you may have even started your journey around the holidays. But whatever it is, those are your posts. That's the value that you need to be sharing in your post every single day, right? Consistently. Every single day, you're posting, you guys, about these things. All right. So that's the second one. Number 1 was value. Number 2 is telling your story through your pain points based around the holidays. And the third thing that I want you to keep in mind during this holiday season is keeping your bucket full of something that you love outside of Beachbody. Okay? Too much of Beachbody is no good. I am here to tell you that firsthand. You need something else in your life that lights a fire under your tail that has nothing to do with health and fitness. Something that you love, something that gets you out of bed in the morning, that inspires you, that makes you want to be a better person, makes you happy, that puts that light in your eye, okay? Whatever that is, you need to dig into that and you need to show it on your page. Because people want to see not just the value that you have with health and fitness and telling your story through health and fitness, they also want to see you're doing the same things they're doing. You're shopping for Christmas presents. You're stressed out too. You're eating the Reese's Christmas trees too. You know, like they want to see that you're human. They want to see that you have something else outside of this whole health and fitness life that they can relate to. Okay, so whatever it is, I want you to think about it and I want you to post about it throughout the week. One thing that I really, really love to do is making things, like crafting things, especially at Christmas time. So baking things, putting them in little, mason jars, crafting things, wrapping them up. Those are all things that I like that I need to share more of on my page. And it's so easy. I will tell you, I'm the first person to get so, it's like I feel like I have everything on my page has to be health and fitness. And it doesn't need to be. They need to see more than just that. They need to see like all the other parts of your life. So, and not only do they need to see that, you guys, you need that right now during this holiday season, right? You need to remember the things that bring you the most joy. And I say this coming off from a really, really awesome church service yesterday. Today's Monday, right? Yeah, yesterday. So if you saw my stories, like it was one of those moments, like we had a service, it was like a worship service, and the teens were leading it, and they sang these beautiful songs, and they were all related to the true meaning of the season. And it was one of those moments where it was like, I have been missing the mark. You know how you just have those gut checks, and it's like, I need to calm it down, and I need to remember why I'm here. And so I relate that to this business and how we can get so caught up in all of the fluff of, posting and, get your water in and do all the things, when in reality, like, we have to show them that we're also human and there's other parts to our lives as well, right? So those are the 3 main points that I have for you. Another thing that I did want to mention that's a really, really important part of planning your content is the app Planoly. It's Planoly. I know my team we've been talking about this a lot. So it is an app that you can actually schedule out your post on Instagram, and it's really awesome if you're on the go a lot and you actually take the time to kind of schedule out some of these valuable posts. You can get it all scheduled out and it will post for you. And you can see the little grid of your picture, so you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like on your page, which is really nice. So Planoly, is a good app to have if you don't like to post every day, because your post should take some time, you guys. Like, it shouldn't be something that you just throw up there. You know, it should take some time. Like, it should take a good amount of thought because it's your storefront. What people are seeing on your Instagram and your Facebook is like your storefront. And if you're not producing that good content that they want to come back to, then they're just going to move on to somebody else who's put more thought into it, you know? That's a really good question, Stacy. Okay. So what you need to do on Instagram, you have a business account. So what you need to do is go to your insights. Okay. This is how you know the best time to post. Go to your insights. Do you know where that's at? If you click on the very top of your Instagram, there's like 3 little lines. If you click in the top right-hand corner, if you click on the top right-hand corner, those 3 little lines, you'll see insights. You got it, Stacy? Does everybody see what I'm talking about? Okay. So once you click on insights, you are going to see all of your posts, all of your stories. That's your content. Then go to activity, and you will see all the statistics. Okay. There's profile visits.
If you go to audience.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if you go all the way down to the bottom, it says followers.
Yes, that's where it's at.
Go through the days of the week, and every day could be different for you. So maybe Sundays are better in the evenings for you, but Mondays are better in the morning. That's when your followers are on Instagram scrolling through. So you'll want to look at like those specific days of the week, and that's when you would want to schedule your posts for.
Yeah, so like I'm looking at mine right now, and on Mondays, the very, very peak time is 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. So like 3 p.m. is like the highest just by a little bit. But pretty much from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. is where most of my followers are looking at my post. But like Ashley said, it's different for every day, so you can scroll through and see. And this is where Planoly can come into play, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to be up at 9 p.m. like posting every single day. Like, that's my peak time for me. So what I would do is schedule that out for that day, so that most people are going to see it then. And you can also see like your audience, like men or women on there, all that stuff. Does anybody have questions about anything related to your content or the holidays in the next couple months? Does anybody want to share one of their things that came to their mind as far as your pain points or telling your story, something that you want to get out onto your page to show that value for your followers that came to your mind?
I'll share what I just showed you. When I flipped my thing around when you were talking, it was just giving me like ideas. So I literally just took my calendar and I wrote different things that I want to post each day for the rest of this week. So now all I have to do is like, so tomorrow, Cody's sitting right here, but tomorrow morning I want to post like a husband shout out for him. So I know I'm going to write something about that. And then in the afternoon, I'm going to try to post like twice a day this week. And then in the afternoon, I know I'm going to do a transformation picture because I haven't done one in a while. And like you were talking about, like starting your journey during the holiday season. And that's when I started mine 2 years ago. So I'm going to be talking about that in my transformation photo and how I felt during the holidays a couple of years ago versus how I feel now. And the fact that I'm on my postpartum journey, I'm kind of in the same spot I was a couple years ago. So kind of talking about all that stuff. So I just went through and I wrote down like all these different topics that I want to hit on. But the first thing I did when you started talking was write down those 5 things that I wanted to make sure are coming across on my page. So the fact that I'm a mom, a wife, I'm a fitness coach and a health coach, a dog mom, and a teacher. So that way, when I started writing those things out, I'm making sure I'm talking about all 5 of those things at some point during this week. So I just kind of did a general outline or like plan for what I'm going to be posting this week. And then I can use that as a guide to go and write those posts whenever I'm feeling it. Like if I'm feeling super inspired about like my transformation picture, like I might write that post tonight to be ready for tomorrow, since I'm like feeling inspired right now and I kind of have it like, you know, in my mind. I can write it tonight and then, like you said, use that Planoly app to plan it out and just schedule it for tomorrow.
Yes, I love that. And I would highly recommend when you're feeling inspired, go write it out or type it in the notes section of your phone. I do that all the time. I have so many notes in my phone, it's ridiculous. They're not organized at all. So, okay, good. I'm glad you're the same way, Ashley.
Yeah, I have
Um,
a million in there. But the good thing about having that, I also have some in Google Docs because sometimes I type them on my laptop and then copy and paste them. And sometimes I do it on my phone. But the nice thing is I've been like reusing things that I wrote
yes.
in the past. So sometimes I'll scroll all the way down in my notes and I've got all this content in there that I haven't used for months that I can go back and either copy and paste or kind of change it to where I'm at right now. But I've been reusing a lot of content lately and it's been super helpful. So like writing these things out and saving them is awesome.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that because you guys, I have done that exact same thing. Like today, I was thinking about this call and what I wanted to talk about. And I was going through all of my posts from last year at this time. So I was like I searched in my phone on my Fit Foodie Joy page, November and December, and I just copied and pasted some of my posts from last year. Because sometimes like and sometimes I surprise myself. Like we're so down on ourselves and we think like, oh, I have nothing to say. And when I reread some of my posts, I'm like, oh yeah, that was good. And you can reuse it. Like you need to reuse it. Nobody's gonna remember your post from last year, and you can always change it up. But there's definitely more times when you feel inspired and you definitely need to get it down because that's when you're gonna get the most traction, is because it's coming from either a pain point or something that's meaningful to you. Um, yeah, Lisa. So, yeah, you need to talk about where you're at. Do you take, do I take the point of work in progress? Yeah, definitely.
Lisa, I think so many people are in the same spot that you are. Like, you have no idea how many people you will reach if you start talking about that and really open up. Like, this is where I was. I'm obviously not there right now. I'm not happy about it. Like, share your emotions about it and how you felt back then. And how you feel now, like looking back at those pictures, that's where you want to get back to, that you have a goal that you're working towards. I think so many people are in that spot that have lost weight and then like fell off the wagon and are, back to where they don't want to be. Like, I think you're going to reach so many people by talking about that.
Yeah, and that's a pain point for you, Lisa. Like, obviously, that's something that's hard to do, but when you put yourself out there, like, it's going to hold you accountable to them. You know what I mean? And they're going to watch your journey, and that's going to make it 1,000 times better because nobody wants to see a picture out of nowhere of like, oh, I'm at my goal weight. It's like, what? How did you get there? What have you been doing for 7 months? Like, like that's why you have to constantly be posting. So, yes, you need to tell it all, be vulnerable, put yourself out there. Um, yeah. See, a lot of people can relate. Anna can relate to that. Um, Definitely. You got to share that story. And it's hard. That's really hard to share the actual progress of it. But I want to read you guys a quote because I came across while I was going back to my stuff, you guys. I save, oh, dang it. I save stuff all the time and I don't ever, sometimes I don't use it, so I have to go back. Um, Let me find it. Does anybody have anything else they want to share while I find this?
Well, while you're finding that, one thing that helps me is when I'm not feeling like motivated or I can't, not motivated, but not like inspired to like write something and you're trying to figure out what to write, I go to Pinterest and just look up like motivational quotes and I find one that really speaks to me and where I am. And then I can kind of use that and write things off of that. It kind of gets your wheels turning so that you can get some ideas going. But I have like a whole Pinterest board of motivational quotes that I can go back to that have some sort of meaning to me. Like I don't find a random one. I find one that has to do with something that I'm feeling that day. So just something that could help you guys.
Yeah. Okay. So I found this little, oh, can't see it. Well, it's a little graphic and it says your story could be the key that unlocks someone else's prison. Don't be afraid to share it. So if you really think about that, that's powerful. Like, and I truly believe we are put on this earth to share our stories and our struggles to help each other. And if we're not willing to share it, we're not doing our part in that, right? Like we're missing out on the whole thing of life, like while we're here. So just think about that. Like sharing what you've been through can help someone else unlock their prison. And Anna, yes, you need to be talking about that. Do you know how many people could relate to that who are afraid to talk about it? Emotional eating is a very real thing, and it's triggered by a lot of things just like that, divorce, like deaths in the family, like all kinds of things. Um, so yeah, you definitely need to share if you feel comfortable with it, like Ashley said. But it's not too intense. Like that's definitely something that people could relate to and would probably reach out to you and say, "Oh my gosh, girl, I've been there. I'm there right now." Or, and you're going to make those connections. So, all right, does anybody have anything else to share? One really quick thing that I was going to show you while Ashley was talking, she reminded me of what I was going to say about my planner. I have like all these spaces and then I have like a big space at the bottom. And what I do is kind of like what Ashley said she does. I write a lot of ideas at the bottom. And I don't know how your planners are, but even if you just had to take another notebook page and write down ideas, I think this is really helpful. So it says things to do, and what I will write out is, first of all, ideas for posts. So like Ashley just did in her planner, she wrote it on the actual days. I just write ideas. And for me, because I'm a foodie and that's a big part of my page, I write down all the foods I want to share for that week. Like if I have a recipe that I just did, or even if it's just like a little helpful thing, like a seasoning, or, hey, I cooked it this way, I write it down so I don't forget. Like, you need to share that on your pages this week. It's got to get in there somehow. So I write that down, but I also write down post ideas of just like things that are on my heart. If a coaching sneak peek's coming up and I want to talk about coaching more, like I write down a specific thing. And I also write down projects that I want to get done outside of Beachbody. So that goes along with the filling your cup up thing, because I think that is important to remember. Like, make this a part of your life too and show it in your stories and your posts as well. So just writing out ideas, because you don't want to be stuck to a post every single day that you may not be feeling that day. You need to be posting what's on your heart from that day, because that's what people are going to relate to the most. So just having those ideas has really, really helped me. And then I like going through and checking it off. So I know, like, ooh, I got that in this week. I did good. And if I didn't get it in that week, then on Thursday's usually my planning day, I'll go to my next week and I write it down in that same spot. So I know, okay, I got to get that in next week somehow. in one of my posts, I need to mention that. So I hope this was helpful, you guys. Let us know if you have questions. Remember that this is such a crucial time in your business, even though it's crazy busy for all of us and we may lack motivation to post sometimes. We have so much to share, and it's very, very crucial that we show up and we're consistent in giving that value, telling our story through our pain points, and also having something outside of Beachbody that we can share and inspire someone on our page. So thank you guys for showing up, and we will see you soon. Bye, you guys.